Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have another creepy pasta for you all. So get yourself comfy and let's jump right into the story. I was browsing through a thrift store looking for retro gaming stuff. This place is awesome because they have a ton of old school Nintendo systems, Game Boys, Game Gears, Sega Genesis, and I got pretty lucky with some of my finds. But this time, I found something a little different. Hidden in the corner of a shelf were two boxes filled with random VHS tapes. And although I wasn't interested in buying any, I couldn't help but at least peek inside one of them. And that's when I saw it. The tape had a homemade label on it with what looked like crayon writing, saying "Family Vacation." It made me curious about what could be on the tape. What kind of home video would a family make and then lose or misplace? And why would it end up donated at a thrift store? Regardless, it was cheap enough that I decided to buy it just to see what was on the tape. So once I got home, I put it in my VCR to see what the video was about. There was no picture at first, so I hit the play button and rewound the tape. Hit play again, and sure enough, the video started, and there was a message on the screen that said, "Please do not watch this tape." Then the video showed a man filming his wife who was dancing around their living room. She was wearing a dress and high heels and seemed to be in high spirits. The guy stopped recording her to pan over to their kid, who was playing with some action figures. He said, "Hey, why don't you come say hi to your dad's friend and dance with us?" But she shook her head and went back to playing with her toys. The guy came back to the camera and gave a friendly wave before he turned off the camera. I fast-forwarded through the rest of the video, but it was just the same stuff over and over. The woman dancing, the girl playing with her toys, and the guy waving to the camera. And the whole time, the same song was playing. It was a slowed-down version of Pop Goes the Weasel, and it sounded like it was recorded on a cheap cassette tape. Anyway, I was getting weirded out by the video, and I was about to turn it off when I heard a knock on the door. I stopped and listened. It was coming from outside, but I didn't hear anything else. Maybe it was the wind, so I decided to ignore it and went back to watching the video. But then it happened again. Another knock on the door, but this time it sounded like it was coming from inside my house. So I stopped the tape and went to check things out. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. All the windows and doors were closed and locked, and I was the only person home. So I went back to watching the video, but then the knocking came again, even louder than before. Startled, I pressed stop and went to the front door to look out the window. That's when I saw it. The video showed the man walking toward the front door. It looked like he was trying to open it, and the girl was standing next to him, still holding her action figure. But how was that possible? I was watching the tape in my living room, and the front door was right behind me. How could the video show what was going on outside when the tape had uneven been played yet? Maybe it was a glitch, so I tried to push past it and fast forward through the rest of the video. But then I heard footsteps. They sounded like they were coming from the attic above my head. Remember, I was in my living room watching the video, and there was no way anyone could be up there. I stopped the tape and went to the stairs leading up to the attic. I called out, "Hello, is anyone there?" But all I heard in return was an echo of my own voice. I didn't feel like waiting around to find out whatever was in the attic, so I went back to the TV and tried to watch the video again. This time, it showed the man opening the front door and stepping outside. As he did so, I could hear the sound of wind chimes. I turned to look out the front window, and sure enough, there was the wind chime hanging from the porch roof. But I lived in an apartment. My front yard was just a concrete patio and a set of stairs leading up to the door. I had never seen a wind chime outside before. Anyway, I tried to focus on the video, but I couldn't take my eyes off the front door. All I could think about was how I had to get out of my apartment and go check on what was going on outside. I could see myself opening the front door and stepping outside to find a nice backyard and a set of stairs leading down to a basement. That's where the man went. He walked down the stairs, turned left, and went into a dark room. And I could hear the sound of crunching gravel beneath his feet, like he was on a dirt road. But I was still in my apartment. I looked down to see if there was a hole in the floor or something, but everything was fine. It was just like my regular apartment. The video kept playing though, and the man was now inside the dark room. He turned around to face the camera and said, "I found the perfect place to hide the box." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Why would he be talking to me like this? Who was he? Was this some kind of sick joke played by whoever owned the tape before me? But then he started speaking directly to the camera, and I realized he was talking to himself. He continued on, saying, "It'll be safe here." Then he held up a cardboard box, the same size as the one I had found the VHS tape in. What was he hiding in there? And why did he want to keep it hidden? He walked out of the room, carrying the box with him, and went back up the stairs. He opened the front door and stepped outside. But it wasn't my front yard that he was standing in. It was a forest. There were tall trees everywhere, and the ground was covered with dead leaves. He turned around and waved at the camera one last time before disappearing into the woods. The video came to an end, and I was left alone in my apartment, sitting in front of the television. I sat there for a moment, thinking about what I had just seen. Could this be some kind of supernatural video? Was the man still out there somewhere? Did he somehow manage to trap himself in time and space, and was reliving the same day over and over again? I honestly have no idea. And that's when I heard the knock on the door again. I knew it was just my imagination, but I couldn't help myself. Had to go and check. I stood up and slowly walked toward the front door. I didn't need to look through the peephole to know who was out there. I already had a good idea. I reached for the knob and stopped. Should I open the door? What if it was the man from the video? Or maybe it was the girl and she needed my help. I hesitated for a moment longer, but curiosity got the best of me, and I slowly opened the door. No one was there. I looked down and saw the same cardboard box that the man had been carrying in the video. It was sitting right at my doorstep. I reached out a hand to push it away, but I hesitated when I noticed that the box had moved a little when I opened the door. Maybe I just imagined that, I thought. But then I heard a small voice from inside the box. It sounded like the girl from the video, and she was crying. I jumped back in surprise. Was it really her? Had she somehow managed to escape the video and find me? Or was this all just a figment of my imagination? I want to hear from you guys on this one. Let me know in the comments if I should tell the full story. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more real horror stories. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.